Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another Monday at Crypto Warehouse. It is the 19th of February. It is 11 o'clock in the morning, and we have, as always, a packed Monday show. We have the markets to go through. We have when exit. When should you be exiting the crypto market? AI pumping. We've got the deal between Sol and Filecoin. We'll look at the XRP case, a warning about crypto, and then we're going to finish with the quiz. I do sound a bit croaky again today. No idea why, but we will get through the show as best as we can. A few shout outs. Good morning in chat goes to Hidden Agendas. Kishan is here. Mags is here. I believe Gianni is here. Good morning to you all. I hope you're having a wonderful start to the day. Bitcoin is back above 52,000. What isn't there to like? Why are we back above 52,000? How did we get here? Well, we had a stream on Saturday. We went through all of this. We said if Bitcoin crabs for a while, then we're going to see the alts pump. We saw that. Brogan also said that if Bitcoin wicked down to 50,000 and change, we would see the longs being liquidated, flush them out, and we would go back up and a bit of a run up towards maybe $53,000 or $53,000. We saw that as well. He also gave a prediction on WIF, which I personally followed and made, I think, about 17.5% in the space of 12 hours. So a great call by Brogan on Saturday's stream, and hopefully there'll be more of them to come as the days go by. But let's get into the charts before we get any further. Bitcoin, as I've just said, is over 52,000, 52,250. Ethereum is having a run at $3,000. The way it's going, I wouldn't back against $3,000 Ethereum anytime soon. BNB is up just a tad. Solana and BNB are having a battle for this fourth spot. Solana did catch it. Solana went over $50 billion yesterday but has retraced. BNB has had a bit of a pump to keep itself ahead. XRP we're going to look at later. That's moving up. Cardano is no longer a stable coin. Look at the chart on the right here, which you can't see, it's off the screen, but Cardano is now at 63 cents. What a time to be alive if you're a Cardano holder. Next, 24 hours, WorldCoin is up 42%. This is on the news of the new AI launch from OpenAI that they've got. If you've watched me before, I'm really not a fan of WorldCoin. I don't agree with it on principle. I don't agree with the ethics of it. I don't agree with anything to do with WorldCoin. So I'm never going to promote it. I'm never going to suggest buying it. I don't like it. I don't like the concept. Graph is up. Fetch AI is up. Akashi Stacks, there's a lot of gainers. As you will know, I made a video last week for the OG members. Fetch and Singularity were in there. Fetch is having a good year. Singularity is having a good year. Don't think I'm some kind of guru. All AI tokens are pumping. It's not just the two that I've picked out. They're all pumping incredibly well this year so far. It could be, I know everybody keeps calling it, is 2024 going to be the year of crypto gaming? Is 2023 going to be the year of crypto gaming? And it's always overshadowed by something else. Could AI be the token choice of 2024? It's a distinct possibility. The way things are moving, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos from the new, I think it's called Sora, the new release. It's as realistic as you're ever going to get it. So maybe tomorrow I will play some Sora videos just so you can have a look at just how good this AI is. Hardly anything has lost value the last 24 hours. Dynamism is down, Bonk is down a touch, Injective, BNB is down a touch, Celestia, again, nothing really to worry too much about. Celestia is an interesting one because it's one of those coins where you can buy it at $14 or $15 and sell it as it approaches $20 because it nearly always retraces. It's in the same kind of pattern that Link was in last year, where Link was range bound for 15 months, and it's a good coin to trade, not necessarily a good coin to hold, it's a good coin to trade. So Celestia is down a bit, not really much else down. Avalanche has got, I think, $400 million worth of tokens unlocking this week. So that's another reason that is potentially down 1.2% today. Not really much to worry about. Remember, wherever you are, so don't forget to follow us wherever we are. Now, I'm just keeping an eye on the stream. We're getting a lot of lag. There we go, I think about now. Good morning to you. Crypto is overbought, needs a correction. The problem is, user 26, I would agree with you, but the buying power is coming from the ETFs. I think I covered this yesterday, or no, not yesterday, sorry, Friday I covered this. At this moment in time, there is 10,000 Bitcoin a day being taken off the market just by ETFs. And of course that's going to slow down. That'll slow down 8,000 a day, 5,000 a day, 2,000 a day. It's going to slow down. We all know that. But it's not you and I, and it's not retail that's buying this Bitcoin. It's the ETFs. And that demand is making us overbought. But if you look at some of the time frames, we're not as overbought as we could be. So I do think we're overbought. I do think we're going to have a correction, maybe 47,000, but I don't think we're going to see 34, 35,000 like everybody else is calling for. It's just too far away from where we are now. It's a 50% correction. That's bear run. We're in the bull run. That's the bear run. I can't see it. But you could be right. You could be right. Now, we're going to go on, look at some X-Files. These are just little snippets. Eric Balchunas is becoming one of my favorite commentators. He really knows what he's talking about. And let's wait for this to load. The internet is really not happy with me today, and I don't know why. I'm not really doing an awful lot, and it's taking forever. So this is to do with the news that Vanguard wasn't going to allow crypto, Bitcoin especially, to be traded on their platform. Gold is. And somebody said, we would love to see what effect the Bitcoin ETF has had on Vanguard, which of course it's a monster. Vanguard has taken in $30 billion since the Bitcoin ETFs launched, 6 times the volume of what the Bitcoin ETFs have done. So what the point of this is very simply, even with Vanguard completely ignoring the Bitcoin ETF, they are 30 billion up in a month and a half. Imagine if Vanguard decides, in its infinite wisdom, to allow for the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, whatever else is coming. Imagine if Vanguard allows them to be listed on their exchange, what that would have done to the price. So that's another reason, by the way, why we had the correction just after the ETF launch. Grayscale sell-off, Vanguard refusing to sell the Bitcoin ETF. They were the 2 reasons we had a sell-off. And if we could manage to convince Vanguard to offer Bitcoin ETFs, it would shunt the price even higher than we are now. Now, another thing I've been talking about on here an awful lot are Bitcoin Layer 2s. And I said that this is one of the next areas of growth and expansion in crypto. So below in this chart that I'm going to bring up in a second is a list of all the Layer 2 solutions. It's not a definitive list. It covers 95% of the Layer 2s. Now, roll-ups are basically layers that combine transactions and add them to the Bitcoin blockchain. Side chains sit alongside Bitcoin. Validation, client-side validation, state channels, not really worth looking at. What is interesting is looking at the roll-ups. Let me open this in a new window. I'm very conscious of time, and I don't want to talk about this too much. Now, luckily, when I do this, it will hide the state channel, client-side validation, RGB, and the client-side validation. So on here, you will see some names that you might recognize. Stacks, is of course a token that you can buy and trade on your exchange. Conflux is the same one, but you have ICP, another big tip, or not a big tip, sorry, a big pick by us for this next bull run is ICP. Do not ever believe it's going to go back to its all-time high, which was I think $1,000 and change. That was a overly inflated price put there by FTX, not ICP themselves. The tech is good. Other names that you might recognize from here are Libre and Bitfinity. But what this is doing, what I'm showing you this for, is people believe, oh, of course, Syscoin is down there as well. What people don't think is the Bitcoin just sits there mining 900 Bitcoin a day and nothing else happens. They think that Bitcoin has evolved to its final state. That's not the case. What we're seeing here and what I'm showing you here is a list of projects which are building utility to the Bitcoin ecosystem. The Bitcoin ecosystem doesn't really exist. Yes, you have Lightning Network for fast transactions. Yes, you have the ordinals. Yes, you have 1,000 sats and things like that, but you don't really have, the layer 2s like Ethereum has. Ethereum's got Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism. Bitcoin is still building that out. Now, ask me why it's taken so long for the biggest blockchain in the world to have all of these layer 2s, and I won't be able to answer that question. I don't know why it's taken so long. I think people have been so focused on Ethereum for so long that they just haven't built on Bitcoin. Maybe they've seen it as it's too difficult to build on. Maybe they've just not had the business case or the business model put together to be able to do that. But the long and short of it is that Bitcoin is going to become a more rounded ecosystem for having most of these projects. That's the way to look at it. And the same way that you can dig gold out of the ground and keep it in bars, or you can dig it out of the ground and turn it into jewelry or computer parts or mobile phone parts, what these side chains and roll-ups are trying to do is add additional functionality to Bitcoin. What I personally want to see is I want to see DeFi. I want to see some kind of DeFi attached to Bitcoin, or maybe some kind of cross-chain proof-of-stake validators where you can stake your Bitcoin directly on the Bitcoin blockchain or layer 2 blockchain and give you access to other chains. It's been talked about, we've done articles about it. That's the most exciting thing for me. So there's a big look into what could happen over the next year or two on Bitcoin. And it is pretty exciting. There's a lot of things already out there. Like I've said, Stacks, Conflux, Syscoin is already there. But B2 Network is one I've got my eye on, which is here. This is the one I've got my eye on. Now, I'm going to move on. Don't want to spend too long today going over everything. I watched our stream back from Saturday, and I've got to say, it's not one of the best streams we've ever done. It was just full of charts. There wasn't really any banter on Saturday. It wasn't a great stream. So we're trying to hopefully speed things up a bit, make things a little bit more clicky than they were on Saturday. Now, this is something which I've always wanted to know, especially when I was just getting into crypto. When should you sell? That's the question. Now, there are people that will say never sell your Bitcoin. That's fine, but people hold multiple currencies. Cardano, Ethereum, Solana, whatever it might be, XRP, they hold multiple currencies. How do you know when to sell? How do you know we've reached the top of the bull market? Now, traditionally, it's been 18 months from the halving. That takes us to December 2025, around about that. November, December 2025 is when I think we're going to have the halving. Lots of other people think we're going to have the top of the bull run. Now, that's all well and good knowing that area. But what do you do to take your money out? How do you take your money off the table when you've made your life-changing wealth? What do you do? So I found this article. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to tell you what I think of these signs, and then hopefully by the end of it you'll have a better idea. Okay. So discerning the optimal moment to exit cryptocurrency markets is as crucial as the decision to invest. Dennis Liu, also known as Virtual Bacon, shared a methodical and strategic approach to navigating the peaks and troughs of Bitcoin. I thought that might be the man, but it's not. It just looks like somebody from Men in Black. Okay, well, number 1, price targets. The initial sign to consider is the attainment of specific price targets, 200,000 for Bitcoin, 15,000 for Ethereum. He suggests reaching these targets could indicate the market is at its peak. Now, there is another rule of thumb. And again, rule of thumbs are not set in stone. Rule of thumbs are guidelines. And that is that Bitcoin will be 4 times the price it is at the halving at the peak. So let us say we hit $60,000 on April the 20th when we have the halving. Roughly, again, the date does change with the block difficulties. Let's say we hit $60,000 by the halving. That would indicate that Bitcoin could go to 240,000 based on the previous 4xing of the price. It could go to 240,000. Would you then argue that 200,000 is the top for Bitcoin? Yeah, I think that's in the range, so I will agree with him on that. This criteria is grounded on the historical market cycles and diminishing returns. You know I talk about diminishing returns a lot on here as well. Diminishing returns are based on the multiples. So Bitcoin cannot do 100x every cycle because the size of Bitcoin, it's now a $1 trillion asset. You know, 8 years ago, what was it, 50 or 100 billion dollar asset? It cannot do that multiple. So you can't look at the price and say, right, we're at 60,000, it's going to do a 10x, it's going to be at 600,000. It doesn't work because the market cap is so large, it takes so much money to move crypto that you can't look at that. So diminishing returns, I've worked it out in my head at 1.6. So 1.6 times the previous all-time high was my price target for Bitcoin this cycle. That would be $105,000, roughly. But we have the ETFs. We're in a bit of a bullish situation regarding the election, regarding the lowering of interest rates, the lowering of inflation, the money printer being turned back on. So my 105,000 is probably in the bin. Let's take that away now. So do I think 200,000 is a reasonable target? Yes. So we are 1 for 1. Time constraint. Another pillar of the strategy is he plans to exit by the end of 2025. It's as if I wrote this article. By setting a temporary boundary, Lou introduces a disciplined approach to investment. I totally agree with this. So again, if you take 18 months from April, you end up at December 2025. So we're 2 for 2. So I agree with this. Both of these points, $200,000 at the end of 2025. Now, don't get me wrong. If we're at $300,000 by the end of 2025, fine. Do I think the bull run is going to go on that much longer after the end of 2025? Maybe it will go on by a couple of months. Maybe it will go on by 4 weeks. Maybe it'll go to the end of January. Who knows? But it will come to an end. Now, the other thing is the last great bull run, this has been called. And the reason we say that is that as Bitcoin and the crypto market matures, the peaks and troughs, they shallow out. And what I mean is that normally you would expect Bitcoin to fall 60% in the bear market. So if we hit $200,000, what would that bring us down to? Well, if you base it on previous cycles, we'd come down to about $70,000 because you come down to touch the previous all-time high. So 60% would bring us down to $70,000. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to come that low. Maybe we'll come to 110, 120, 130. But similarly, I don't think we're going to have another blow-off top bull run like we've had this time, because the amount of Bitcoin being halved each time is having less and less impact on supply and demand. Remember, we went from 1,800 to 900. That's a huge difference. This time, we're going from 900 to 450. Again, 450 a day is still quite a lot. The next bull run, we're going to go from 450, which isn't a great deal, to 225. that difference of 200 a day isn't huge. So this could be the last great bull cycle. Maybe the next bull cycle, the way we look at it is we go from 200 to 300,000. Then maybe we go from 300,000 to 380,000, whatever it might be. But I think the returns are going to be less and less over time. And that's an issue for me. Price patterns. The final aspect involves monitoring price patterns, specifically the 200-day and 21-week EMA. A break below these support levels would trigger an exit. This is my exit plan if any of the three conditions are met. Make a full exit and never look back, Lou concluded. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that final comment. What I would say is that you wait to November next year and you assess where Bitcoin is. You assess what price it's at. You assess the price action in November. So the month or so before the blow off top. Assess where we are. Now, the other thing that he's mentioned here is he mentions a full exit and never look back. And again, I'm not a fan of that either. Dollar cost averaging in and dollar cost averaging out of a market will stop you from having a problem with missing peaks, missing troughs in the price action. So what I would suggest is November next year, and this isn't financial advice, of course, nothing ever is you look at moving your money out in tranches, maybe 10% or 15% a week over a period of 6 to 8 weeks. And then cover November and December, or December and January, whichever one you want to deal with. Now, the other alternative is you don't sell your Bitcoin. You keep your Bitcoin, you never sell it. You hold it until Bitcoin gets to $1 million in 6, 8 years' time, whatever it might be. But you sell your alts. Alts are not Bitcoin. Cardano, Solana, XRP. If you gave me $1,000 Solana today, I would snap your hand off. If you gave me a $7 XRP today, I would snap your hand off. Same with Cardano. Give me a $6 or $7 Cardano, I'll snap your hand off. You have to have also an idea in your head of the price. Like you said, number one here was the price. So if I hit those price targets and we are nowhere near the end of the bull run, then I will reassess those price targets. If we are at November, December, and XRP is $3 and Cardano is $2, then my price target was wrong. Simple as that. But I'm still near the end of the bull run, so I still need to consider taking my funds off the table at that point. And remember, you're not selling forever and a day. You're selling to hold for 18 months in fiat to then buy back in at lower prices. You're not selling and walking away for crypto for the rest of your life, unless if this is your third or fourth bull run, then yeah. But you wouldn't be listening to me if this was your third or fourth bull run. You'd have made your money. This would be your exit. So I like this article. I think it's common sense, and it's nice to see it all put into one article. Now, I have got the Bitcoin chart, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because we don't have a lot of time, and I want to whip through and get through all of the content today, not just a little bit. Now, this is a little bit too far. Over there, move that way a bit. Here we go. So we're at 52,335 for Bitcoin. We are back. If I put another line in here to show you, maybe go out a little bit to the daily chart. So this line is where we've come up to in the past, and we are touching it again. That is 52.4. So 52.4 is a level of resistance. And remember, I have got targets up here of 55,000. Of course, we're not going to go straight there in one foul swoop, but that's my next target on the next leg up. Now, what has Brogan done to these charts? That's the question. So where do I see us moving? I do see us breaking 52.4 today. I think the weight of having all of this money brought to crypto by the ETFs and all of this Bitcoin being taken off the table, it's having an effect, a big effect. I do see 53, 54, 55,000. I do see it in the very near future. I agree that there is need for, if we go down a little bit, let's drag this all the way down here. Okay, so the bull market support band, which is this white line here, today has just moved up to here. That's 41.1. So the new bull market support band is at 41.1. This is a kind of rule of thumb that Bitcoin shouldn't get too far away, or when it does get too far away, it retraces. So if we do have a retracement, a 20% retracement from here would take us down to 41,000. Could we see that just before or just after the halving? Absolutely. But I don't think we're going to see any of the prices that people are predicting. Why is this so large on my screen? So 53,000 I think is the target for today. 55,000 is my next longish term, week or two target for Bitcoin. Again, I'm not going to spend too long on the charts. This is not a TA show after all. Right, my chat has also completely died. I can't see anything in chat. Just give me 1 second. Right, let me drop a box. And then we will carry on. So remember, if you are new here, we stream 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday, normally 11 o'clock every day. We're doing a special on Wednesday night that's in the calendar already. A special on Wednesday night where we'll be giving away crypto to people watching. We'll be giving it away on the exchange you're watching on. We're going to have, I think it's a $50 giveaway, 5 $10 prizes will be given away live on the show. There will be no jiggery pokery, there will be no sleight of hand. It will be done on the show. We always use a third-party website. We use the Crypto Warehouse Wheel of Fortune, which we spin. If your name comes up, you've won. So that's on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. It's in the calendar. Go and find it. Come and join us. It is a whale of a time. Right, I'm just going to ban a couple of people, and then we will carry on with this next article, which is to do with AI. Now remember, when I pick AI tokens out, I'm not picking them based on whether they're necessarily my favorite project. I look at a couple of things. One is the market cap of the project, and one is the buzz around the project. So the two tokens that I've talked about for some time on here are Fetch and Singularity. Fetch and Singularity are the two tokens that I think are going to do exceptionally well. And again, I don't have a crystal ball. And because these two tokens have done incredibly well, they've done very well in a niche that's done very well. So if you bought Render, if you bought ICP, if you bought Fetch, if you bought Singularity, they are good AI projects to hold. Just because I've picked two doesn't mean I don't think the rest of them are going to do very well. But you can't pick all of them. You shouldn't hold every single cryptocurrency. You should pick cryptocurrencies that you think have the most potential for the most growth in terms of asset appreciation, but also in terms of, are they big enough to take on bigger clients? Are they going to be integrated into the real world? Are they going to be here in 5 years' time? And that is the key question. Other things such as tokenomics, other things, market cap, or whatever it might be, should all be taken into account. But the most important thing is to realize that some industries are just going to pump, irrespective of whether that particular project is very good. So we've just seen WorldCoin pump 40% in a day. I cannot and will not abide by WorldCoin because I don't agree with what they're doing. I don't agree with their connections to the World Economic Forum. That's my opinion. So I don't really care for the project. Now, some of you out there will look at it and think, well, it's going to be the world's biggest digital ID producer. Of course, we're all going to want to hold WorldCoin tokens. Fine, but not for me. So, 2 AI-related crypto assets rally as OpenAI launches text-to-video artificial intelligence model, and it does look incredible. It does look amazing. So, Sora is a new model that can generate detailed high-definition videos based on text prompts. Introducing Sora, we don't need to talk about that. So, news of the launch sent 2 AI-related digital assets, decentralized video streaming network LivePeer, LPT, and blockchain-based marketplace for AI services Singularity.net skyrocketing. So LPT shot up, nearly doubled. It went up 84%. Agix has gone up 31%. It's gone up even more since then. Now, here's a scenario. You're new to crypto, but you understand that AI is going to be a big thing, and you want to get in on AI. Now, I'm not going to tell you what coins to buy because that's not my job. But what I am going to do is I'm going to show you how to find the AI tokens or any other token you want. Now, I've done this a couple of times in the last few weeks simply because when people say do your own research, it's very difficult to understand what that even means. So I'm going to very quickly show you, and it's not a distraction from what I'm talking about, it's part and parcel of it. If it would just let me type, there we go. So if we type in AI in the search box and we click on categories, it shows you if this would just work for me. That would be amazing. There we go. Let me close down this window. I don't know why my my machine has gone into some kind of like death spiral. Give me a second. Good morning, Mohammed. I hope you are doing exceptionally well. Thank you for coming in. Remember, smash the like button. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Crypto Warehouse. The screen will come on in a second. Just bear with it. Right, okay, so do your own research. What does it mean? So you are new to crypto and you want to know about the AI tokens. You go to the search in the top right-hand corner of CoinMarketCap and you type in AI and you select categories, and it will bring up all of the AI and big data tokens by market cap, so how big they are. Again, this isn't a noddy show. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but you can see ICP. Is that a good project? Absolutely. Near Protocol, great project. Injective, great project. The Graph, great project. Come down, Fetch and Singularity. These are the 2 picks that I have decided to go with based on me doing my research and me understanding what they both do and me enjoying them. Fetch is like a blue chip corporate AI project that has what do they call them now? They basically have a decentralized array of AI bots around the world that will perform tasks for you. Singularity is more hip and trendy, and it will do things like strip Adele's voice out of her song so you can listen to Adele without the background music. Cool things like that, NFTs, whatever it might be. So for me, Fetch and Singularity are 2 tokens that I particularly like. But it doesn't mean this list is... I'm not ignoring all of them. They're all great projects. Now, what I would suggest you do is you go, and if you click on one of these, so let's say you go to ICP, on the left-hand side, it has all of the links, the website and the white paper. The most important thing for you to do is go to the website and understand what they do. If you said to me, "Oh, I've just bought into the Graph," oh, fantastic! What does it do? I have no idea. You shouldn't really be investing in projects that you don't understand, in my opinion. You should be investing in projects that you can grasp and understand. If you go to a website, if you go to Injective and you don't understand what it does, don't invest in it. There has to be some level of comprehension in what you're doing. Why are you buying Bitcoin? It's a store of value. Why are you buying Ethereum? It's the biggest layer one. It has the most liquidity. It's the biggest DeFi platforms. Why are you buying Solana? It's got the biggest L1. It's got the most activity. You can very simply, in one sentence, explain why you hold that token. Why am I buying Singularity and Fetch? Because they've got relatively low market caps with big potential for growth. They are both sitting in complementary niches in the market, and they both have huge demand for what they offer. That's why I'm buying both of them. You might like Oasis and Theta. That's fine. That's what we say when we say do your own research. Go and have a look. What I would avoid if you're a newcomer to crypto is don't come down here and look at anything sub 150 because $150 million, because they are the lower the market cap, the more volatility in the project, the more volatility in the price. And for a beginner, you shouldn't be taking too many gambles. You should be sticking with the top tokens if you're a beginner. If you're advanced and you want to make yourself a small bag of Ajax, a small bag of Fetch, or create an AI bag where you say, right, I'm going to put $200 into 4 different tokens. I'm going to buy 5 AI tokens. I'm going to buy ICP. I'm going to buy Render. I'm going to buy the Graph, Singularity, and FET, and that's my AI bag for $200. My theory is that will go to at least $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in the bull run. As a rule of thumb, maybe a 10 to 20x, but it's not guaranteed, and that's the other thing to bear in mind. A lot of these projects that you see, what happens if they run out of money? What happens if there's no take up? What happens if nobody uses that project? It's still a big risk investing in Solana and Ethereum, don't get me wrong, but it's a bigger risk investing in projects that aren't built out. In fact, we covered a token yesterday, which was WAGMI. I made a video about WAGMI, which is WAGMI Games. It's a mobile game. It's not launched. It has $35 million market cap. I'm not a huge fan of the team behind it because they don't have enough experience. And I've been honest and I've said, don't buy this token. But I'm going to get rounded on by their community and get rounded on by their team because apparently I haven't done my own research. But I have done my own research. I don't see the project going anywhere until the product is launched. And that's what I'm saying. You have to have a certain level of honesty with yourself and also with the people that you listen to. I could quite happily sit here, well, I couldn't quite happily, I could quite easily sit here and say, buy every token that we look at. But where is the honesty and where is the moral in doing that? There isn't. So I'm not going to do it. Irrespective of how many people tell me I'm wrong, if I don't believe in a project, I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to buy this project. Very quickly then, Singularity has come a long way from its 31-cent support line. It touched pretty much off this fib level at 59 cents. Let's go to the daily. I mean, that's a god candle and a half. I would be very wary about buying a project at this price. I have been telling people to buy the project pretty much since, I would say, since all of this area here was the time to buy Singularity. I would wait for it to come back down. You can see here we put a line at 45 cents. That was a target for Singularity, and we did hit it and have a bit of a wobble, and we've had another break up. So for me, I personally wouldn't buy Singularity at this price today. I would wait to see where it's going to go, and if it does rocket up to $2 and you have missed out, there's always going to be another cryptocurrency to invest in. You know, don't think it's the end of the world if you've missed this, but if it does what I think it's going to do, which is retrace, then you should be looking at picking it up at either 45, 42, or 37 cents. That's what I would do. Honest opinion. Again, Some people want me to sit here and tell you what tokens to buy. And I'm not going to do that, and I never will. So that's just, what do they call it in America? That's my truth. That's what they say, isn't it? That's my truth. Well, my truth is I'm never going to tell you to buy something. And that's the end of it. Right. This is a good partnership. A lot of people have poo-pooed it because it brings in a second vulnerability to Solana, which is if Filecoin goes down, what happens to Solana? However, I like to look at the bright side of this deal and say a great storage token and a great layer one are coming together to help flesh out the ecosystem. And Filecoin, again, it's not a sexy token because it's a Web3 storage token. It's not sexy, but it's needed. It's like Amazon Web Services is not sexy, but it's needed. So what would I say about this? I am more positive than negative about this. And the agreement brings together two influential entities within the digital ledger tech sphere. Solana will incorporate its Filecoin's decentralized storage solutions, aiming to improve data redundancy, expand scalability, and bolster the network's security protocols. We like this. We do. I'm 70% in favor of it and 30% not. It's definitely something I think we're going to see more of. As myself and Brogan were saying on Saturday, I was around at the very beginning of the internet, as I keep harping on about. But the reason I'm telling you that is that you have a huge period of expansion with 50,000 projects, 10,000 projects, hundreds of thousands of developers building out. 70 or 80% of that is going to disappear. It's not going to be here in 5 years' time because it was experimental, or it was optimistic, or it was just being built for the sake of spending VC money. You want to try and back the horses that will be in the race by the finishing line. And Filecoin and Solana, for me, are both going to finish the race. They're both big enough in terms of size and market cap to do that. So we've got the Filecoin decentralized storage. We've got Solana needing this space. It's huge, very, very heavily utilized layer one. Yes, it's got its problems. Every chain's got its problems. The only problem with Solana's problems is that it's in the public, whereas Ethereum's problems are behind closed doors. Bitcoin has problems, mainly politics and speed. Every chain has its own problems, but Solana's are more visible because the physical network goes down, and that really isn't good. So Anatoly Yavalenko, the co-founder, took to X to express his enthusiasm and praise Filecoin for creating a decentralized archive layer that will serve as the bedrock for the integration. And again, like I said, I am 70% happy. So Filecoin went up 7% with an overall weekly increase of 14%, which is nice to see. Filecoin's platform has attracted considerable attention by adopting a substantial client base. It's got its FVM, which is a little bit like it allows other people to connect to it, a little bit like Ethereum's EVM does. And Solana took a slight hit, but I think it has recovered. Solana's ecosystem has expanded recently with $2 billion in total asset value locked on its blockchain. Again, I don't look at the value because it can be misleading. It's based on the price of Solana. So if the price of Solana today doubled, there'd be $4 billion in asset value locked. And what I like to see is the percentage of tokens locked. I know Ethereum, I think 30% of Ethereum's tokens are locked. Cardano is even higher. How many Solana tokens are locked? What percentage of the ecosystem is locked? That's what we need to know. How many of them are stuck in validators helping secure the network? That's what's important, not the actual number. So good news for Solana, good news for Filecoin, and in general for the blockchain, because if this works for Solana, there is nothing stopping Filecoin becoming the data storage solution for other blockchains. It's a possibility. Now, I am desperately trying to get my chat to work and it ain't happening. So Ripple versus the SEC. Next key deadline to watch in the crypto legal battle. Now, of course, a lot of you are thinking the case is over, the case XRP won. They did. There are two parts to the case. One is XRP, which is being traded on exchanges, is that a security? No, it isn't. That was the case that was won. The other part of the case is to do with, was the initial offering of XRP an ICO? Was that a security offering? Are you buying that token on the expectation that the price will rise? Of course people are. You don't buy anything and expect the price to go down unless it's a car. That's utter nonsense. You buy a house and you expect the price to go up. Otherwise you wouldn't buy the house. So they're going to lose this. I think they're going to lose this, and they're going to pay a fine. Hundreds of millions, maybe $300 or $400 million will be paid, which is peanuts. But it will put an end. It will give closure to this 3-year-old case. So we've also seen that the SEC have asked for the Ripple documents to be opened, and I think the judge has accepted that. And I believe we should be coming to a conclusion. There we go. So Ripple and the SEC enter the remedies phase of the case, focusing on institutional sales. The deadline is 20th of Feb, which is tomorrow. Ripple's got a landmark win in July. The court determined that certain XRP institutional sales were investment contracts and hence should have been registered with the SEC. I agree. Let's have a look at that one. I'll go and have a look. Yeah, I'll take him out. Give me 1 second. Done. Thanks for letting me know. Sorry, I'm just banning a few people. There's so many of them, Solo Sky. It's so difficult. I can't do the stream and keep an eye on this at the same time. It's impossible. So when I'm doing the quiz later on, I will start banning people. Anyway, so the XRP case, I think they're going to lose this element of it because it is a sale and it is an investment contract. I don't see how XRP can get away with this. So they are going to pay a fine, and I don't see a way they're going to get away with it. It should be recalled that earlier in February, Ripple requested a 1-week extension of the deadline for remedies-related discovery from the 12th to the 20th, making this the next crucial deadline in the legal battle. At this point, the discovery phase remains crucial as it could reveal new information or arguments that could impact remedies. They're going to lose this. This is gone. XRP are going to lose this. But they've won the war. They might lose this fight with the SEC, which I think they will, but they've won the war. They've already won the war. They won it in July last year. So this is just how much money can the SEC get out of Ripple? That's the long and short of it. And finally, we're almost done. 11:48, and we've got through most of the news. You know what? Today, everything around me has just stopped working. I'm desperately trying to keep an eye on all the different chat messages, and they just stop. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to keep an eye on all of your messages and all of your requests and everything that you're saying. I'm very sorry if I haven't replied directly to you, but I am giving it my best. For some reason, the chat stopped. There we go. So, Mags, Mohammed, Render is the Brogan token. Yeah, I think Brogan does like Render. Kishan is back to being an OG member. Congratulations, Kishan. Well done. I did get an email from you this morning, but I haven't a chance to read it. I've been trying to prepare the show. Right, so this is the last piece, and this is important. That it's more of a kindly reminder that as we get further into the bull market, it will become more and more enticing to take bigger and bigger risks and get bigger and bigger gains. And I'm here to tell you that's a terrible idea for obvious reasons. But as crypto becomes more expensive to buy into, you've got a lot of gains. You might be 1,000% up on some tokens or 100% up on some tokens. and you're going to be sitting there with, maybe you've got liquidity, maybe you've sold some of your 500% gains, and you're sitting there wondering what to do with it. And that's the most dangerous thing in the world to do. It's like putting a child in a room with a big bag of sweets and big blocks of chocolate. Eventually that kid is going to eat all the sweets and eat all the chocolate and get sick. You want to lock in your profits. You want to take them off the table and lock them away somewhere, because you'll get itchy fingers. And lots of people, especially early adopters have a certain mentality and a certain psychology, and they are open to risk. People who are buying Bitcoin through their ETFs are not as likely to gamble. And this is just a cautionary warning. So this 24-year-old astrologer lost $440,000 by day trading crypto and now lives on credit card debt. Caleb Hammer responds. Personal finance YouTuber Caleb Hammer has seen it all, from models who just want to spend, to 40-year-olds who outright refuse to work. But one of the most recent guests on his show may have been his most frustrating one. Here we go. So Raxo, a 24-year-old Vedic astrologer from Austin, Texas, lost an immense amount of money trading cryptocurrencies, is now funding his lifestyle with credit cards. Getting a regular job, he explained, is only for a worst-case scenario, but Hammer believes Raxo's current situation couldn't get any worse. I'm borderline ready to kick you off, he told him. This is the angriest I've ever been. From $500,000 to broke. So he started trading crypto in 2020 with $40,000, which he turned into $440,000. That's where it can all go horribly wrong, because you've 10x'd your money. Unfortunately, he was doing 17x trades. Pretty high. Yes, you can get 125x, but 17x is still a lot. 5 to 10x is probably the maximum anybody should be doing, unless you are just willing to throw your money away. And for every one person you see on X, for every one person you see on posting online who has made millions of dollars by leverage trading, there are 1,000 people who've lost it all. Because for every one winner, there has to be an equal number of losers. But in this case, the more somebody wins, the more losers they are. He lost 70% of his portfolio when FTX and Terra Luna collapsed. And the bank, so we don't need to read any more of that. The case here is, if you're $440,000 up, you need to treat yourself. So divide that $440,000 into 4 different pots. Put 2 of the pots in separate places to spread your risk of bankruptcy of a bank or whatever it might be. Take one of them and leave it in cash for crypto. You know, leave it in USDC, USDT. So that's a quarter of your money in cash. And the other quarter, you should look at what other investments into crypto you should do. And then take a fraction of that, maybe 1% of that, and go and do what you want with it. Go and burn it for all I care. Because when you're investing, and I say this on a lot of the videos that I make, 99% of your portfolio should be in top 200, top 150 projects. And then 1% should be taken for meme coins or degen purchases or whatever it might be. And if you lose 100% of that money, you've lost 1%. And in the bull run, when you are 5xing, 10xing, 20xing your portfolio, the money you've lost is insignificant. The problem arises when you have somebody who has a $50,000 portfolio and they've made a profit on a meme coin or a new project, and they take all of that money and put it into another high-risk project, because it's like jumping from one train carriage to another on the roof. Eventually you're going to fall off. And that's what happens when you take your $440,000 and lose it all. You've got nothing left. You can't gamble your way back up. And your mentality was so wrong that you've lost your money. So the best advice is to feed that demon inside you that wants to gamble take a fraction of what you've got, put the rest of it into Bitcoin, put the rest of it into Ethereum and Solana and Cardano, XRP, whatever it might be, and take 1% and go and buy a meme coin. Go and be part of a project. Don't be enticed in to put more money in. Set your limit. The same way when you walk into a casino, you walk into anywhere, you walk in with money in your pocket. And if you've doubled your money, you take half of your money, which is what you walked in with, you put it in your back pocket and you gamble the rest, because that's house money. And that's how you should be with crypto. You should take 90% of your winnings and stash them away, and take 10% and go back into crypto, find better projects, find lower cap projects, and then take a sample of that and go and spend it on things that are just either going to 1000x or go to zero, because there are people that want to do that, and that's fine. If you have that mentality, remember, you need to play with house money. You should only be doing these things when you have house money, and by house money I mean profits. If you've made $1,000 profit from crypto in January, put $950 into Bitcoin or whatever, and take $50 and go back in with that house money and do what you want with it, because that's going to keep your interest. You're not going to get bored. I mean, it's not interesting holding Matic for 4 years because it doesn't do anything for 3 years. But you can't be trading in and out, because you're going to miss the top. You could be selling the bottom, buying the top, and you don't want to do that. Stick to your guns, take a small amount and gamble it, but keep it well away from your portfolio. That's how you're going to do it. And if you are risk averse and you are making 2, 3, 4, 500% profits, take your profits and then look at what's the best place to put them. If you're 500% up on a token, maybe take 250% out, put some of it into Bitcoin, some of it into Ethereum, and then keep some of it in cash. Because if the chat before mentioned that we're going to have a correction, if there is a correction, and it is a 20% correction, keep cash on the side to then buy back into Bitcoin, buy back into Ethereum, buy back into Solana at cheaper prices. And then you end up with more crypto for the money that you had. That's what I do. Hope that helps. So what we're going to do now is we are going to get cracking with a quiz. Remember, if you are new here, smash the like button, give us a follow, say hello in chat. The question of the day is, are we going to hit $55,000 this week? And 80% of people have said yes, and 20% of people have said no. What can you say to that? So that was my last cautionary tale. So what we do now is we bring up the Bitcoin chart, and your job as a viewer, apart from smashing the like button, is to help us mentally push Bitcoin up as high as it can go. Let me have a look at this, and I'm going to jump onto the app now and start asking some questions. So just give me a second for this to load. It's really slow today. I really don't know why everything is so slow. I was late. I will see the stream later. Have a nice quiz. Take care. Thanks for popping in anyway and saying hello. Right, let's go and have a look. So we were at 52,250, I think, at the start of the stream. Where are we now? Are we back at 52.4? Yeah. So this is the line 52. Let's have a look. I think it's 52,450. That's the line. We've come up. We have tapped it. We have tapped it. We've been rejected, and we're going at it again. So 53,000 is definitely on the cards today, unless we get rejected. And if we get rejected, we could come back down to 51,000, something like that. Let's see. We'll leave it up on the screen. I'm going to ask some quiz questions. Remember, wherever you are, you can participate. And if you do put links into chat, I will ban you. So BNB Mike, I have banned you. War Master C. Quiz education time. Actually, I need to drag this just a little bit further over so you can see the price. So I'm going to try and ask some different questions this week. A lot of you keep saying I keep asking the same questions. The reason is this is supposed to be educational at the end of the show. It's meant for beginners. There's a lot of beginners that watch this show, and I appreciate every single one of you. And I'm not going to ask difficult questions on this show ever. So if you are an OG, if you understand crypto an awful lot, this isn't going to be a quiz for you. This is meant to be for beginners. And the first question, I've asked this every single day for the last week, and then after this I'm going to switch it up. So the Bitcoin halving, is that in April or June? April or June? When is the Bitcoin halving? What do you think to that? So simply type April or June into chat and you've won. When is the Bitcoin halving? Let me refresh the app. The app appears to have stopped again. Okay. Come on. Give me a second. I'm just coming back in. Hopefully I'll get to see the... There we go. So the Bitcoin halving is in April or June. The answer is, of course, April 2024. In fact, a lot of people have predicted it will be the 20th of April. And for those of you that don't know, there are a couple of memes that get combined together, and 420 is one of them. And obviously in America, 420 is April the 20th. And then the other one is 69. So a lot of people are putting money on a $69,000 Bitcoin on April the 20th. And I wouldn't bet against them. Let's just put it that way. I wouldn't bet against them. We could very easily be at 69,000 on April the 20th. We could also very easily be at 47,000 at April 20th. We don't know. But there are a lot of people speculating that we are going to go. Now, I think 52.4, I think we could be having a proper run at this in the next hour or so. That looks like we are going to try and break 52.4. Okay, next question. So Bitcoin is proof of stake. Is that true or false? Is Bitcoin proof of stake? Just trying to zoom in as best I can. Is Bitcoin proof of stake? Just put true or false into chat and you have won. So, what do you think? True or false? So it's nearly 12:05. I'll ask a couple of questions and then I will head out. And remember to check the calendar. We have a big stream on Wednesday night. So make sure to check that stream out on Wednesday. Bitcoin is proof of stake. Is that true or false? $35 of you got that right. It is, of course, false. Bitcoin is proof of work. So who won that? Let's have a look. Murad. Christos, congratulations. D-Wang is here. Tulama, Spartan, Polyknights, Sonia, good morning Sonia, Mags, Andy, good morning Andy, Solo Sky is here, War Master C, Emima and Giannis, well done, all of you got that right. OMG, what's happened Mags, what did I do? Let's just double check. I am also, by the way, as we do these quizzes, I am banning people in chat. Next question. Okay, we've talked today about Solana teaming up with Filecoin. But why? What is Filecoin? Is it a storage coin or is it a meme coin? Is it a storage coin or is it a meme coin? Just type storage or meme into chat and you've won. What is Filecoin? Hi Andy, I'm sorry I didn't see you. Your good morning. I do try and ban as many people as possible that spam the chat, but when I look away to do the stream, they just comment, and then I can't see anything. What we need to do, the next evolution of Crypto Warehouse, is we need to get like an admin for the stream, somebody that can sit there and ban all of these people from chatting about links to places and spamming boxes and stuff like that. We need to get rid of them. So that's the next stage of evolution. And I don't think I can make somebody a permanent admin. That's the problem. So that's where we are. So what is Filecoin? Of course, it is a storage coin. 37 of you got that right. I believe 37 of you got that right. Yeah. So it is storage. Karaka, well done. Fanny Khan, congratulations. I remember your name from Saturday you were here. Andy again, got that right. Tom, congratulations. Giannis, Mags, War Master C, Sonia again. Well done, all of you. Again, one thing to remember about coins which are not sexy. They will not do very well until the spotlight is on them, and then they will absolutely rocket. So their coins tend to be undervalued. We saw this with Polygon. I think Polygon, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Polygon somewhere like 98 cents today? I think Polygon, and we were talking about Polygon at 80 cents. Where is Polygon? I've probably gone past it, haven't I? There we go. There we go. Polygon is at $1.01. We were talking about this at 60, 70, 80 cents, saying it's not going to do anything and then it's going to rocket, and it's up 26% in the last month, so it's done incredibly well for itself. Polygon is one of those coins, and again it will just stop then, and then it will just tick along. And the reason Polygon is going up is, of course, that the AG layer comes out this week. The AG layer, if you don't know about it, is it's going to combine multiple chains together to create pooled liquidity, but each chain is going to retain its independence. So it's a huge thing. Matic are doing it. Matic are way undervalued, even at $1. They probably should be somewhere up towards, I would say, 10 billion, which would give it a, not 10 billion, sorry, 15 billion. 15 to 20 billion. It should be up here in this range. It should be underneath Cardano for me. At the minute, for me, it's better than Dogecoin, it's better than Avalanche, it's better than Tron. Chainlink is doing incredibly well, but for me, Polygon, I think, is undervalued about 50%. Next question then, and this will be the last one. I didn't realise the time. Let me think of a question. Okay. So this is an easy one. Ajax and Fetch, two tokens we talked about today. Are they AI or are they meme tokens? Just type AI or meme into chat and you're a winner. All you got to do. And for those people out there wondering, you know, how do we expect to get to these prices that we've got to in the past? Remember that SHIB got to 41 billion in the last bull run. That's almost an 8x. Almost an 8x. So that's an 8x for a coin currently worth 5.7 billion. So all of these coins that are around this area could easily do a 5 to 10x. You could easily see a $60 billion ICP. You could easily see a 50 billion Polygon. The further up you go, the harder it gets. For Solana to get to $1,000, it needs to be 450 billion. That's a push for me. The same with BNB. I don't think these coins, I don't think anything in this top 5 is going to 10x from where we are. Just put, right, okay, I've re-entered the pin. You should get the question now. So Ajax and Fetch, is it an AI or is it a meme token? Most people are getting this right, which is good to see. It's good to see. So now that we have got to the end of the show, a few bits of housekeeping. We are back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We stream for about an hour and 15 minutes every day. We try and finish at 11:45 and then do the quiz till about 10 past. Sometimes I overrun by an awful lot and then we don't get as long a quiz as we normally get. So if you are new here, bookmark us or subscribe to us or follow us, whatever it is you can do. We'll be back tomorrow. We give away crypto as much as we can on the channel. Wednesday night, we are going to have our giveaway. We're going to do a live AMA on Wednesday night. Check the calendar for events and hopefully you will be able to attend. Last time we did the giveaway, I think there was about 60 people in the prize draw and we did 10 prizes. So you had a 1 in 6 chance. This isn't the kind of channel where you get 1,000 people entering to win 5 prizes. On Wednesday night, it's more than likely we're going to get 50, 60, 70 people enter. We're giving 5 prizes away. You will have a 1 in 10, 1 in 12, 1 in 14 chance of winning. And to win, you have to do 2 things which are going to be really easy to do. And we're going to tell you at the start of the show. We're going to do the AMA. We're going to remind you how to do it throughout the AMA. And then after the AMA is finished, we're going to give you another 5 minutes. 10 minutes, we might do a quiz, give you a chance to go and enter, and then we'll do the draw. So we'll probably do the draw at about 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. We'll start the stream at 7. We'll do the draw about 8, just to give you all a chance to enter. So that's pretty much it from me. I'm probably going to make a couple of videos this week as well, so keep an eye out for that. And I'm going to drop another box now as a thank you box. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you to everybody that's commented. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Have a great Monday. Let's see if we can get to 53,000 today, and let's see where the day takes us. So take care. See you soon.